Yeah, your heart is a sun, and it shines as it opens.
Where your heart is a sun, and it shines.
Hey guys, I'm back. I know it's been a while, but life gets in the way. Today I wanted to talk about a photo book that I made, finally. I haven't made a book. Actually, I think this is the first actual photo book that I've made, at least for personal photographs. But I was scrolling through my Instagram feed and I saw this little sponsored targeted ad by SAAL Digital. And basically it said there's a $150 voucher for testing their professional line photo books. So I said, all right, that might be a good reason to actually make something physical, creative. So this is my YouTube review of the book. And so in this video, I'll talk about the actual process of, making the book through the SAAL Digital software that they have. And it's very easy. And I'll talk about the actual quality of the book, what I think about it. They didn't sponsor this video. They didn't pay me for this review. They just wanted honest feedback from photographers. And then in a separate video, I'll talk about the actual creative process that I went through in terms of selecting the photos. So yeah, with that, let's get into it. Okay, so if you go to the SAAL Digital website here, you'll see that they have some beautiful photos of their products and they got a bunch of stuff. What we want to do is go up here and you'll see Photobook and Professional Line. And so with this one, the review specifically stated it looks like they have two lines of photo books, the regular photo book and the Professional Line. It's kind of hard to tell the difference, what the actual differences are between the two. But at a glance, it looks like the covers of the regular photo book line, it looks like the print is on the cover directly itself. And then with the Professional Line, you get this kind of nice acrylic cover and the cover print is under there. So it gives it that very nice glossy look to it, I guess. You don't have to get a photo on the cover. Oh, here you can see more detail of what that would look like. They also have other options for covers. You can get leather, you can get linen, different colors of linen. There's this cork or wood appearance. And then there's different options. There's thick paper. You can get this extra thick. That's what the XT stands for. I do believe the regular photo book line, not the Professional Line, also has the thick option. And then you also have glossy and matte options in terms of the photo paper. You got different size options here. And here you can also see the binding itself. You can have different options with the leather, the canvas, or the linen. If you have a print option, obviously I chose not to with this linen cover. And then the gift box. You can get a very nice premium gift box with it. But with the regular photo book line, you can also get the gift box. I think with the Professional Line, there's automatically no barcode. With the regular photo book line, you have to pay a few bucks to remove the barcode. Also, another difference, I think the regular photo book line has this kind of soft padding option. I don't think that's available on the Professional Line. You can see here the regular photo book line also has the extra thick option, the XT option. If you go up to here, prices and sizes, you'll be able to see how much different options cost. And they have this real-time configurator, so you can kind of configure your options that you want and see these prices update in real time. Here you can see the acrylic leather cover option. It does bring it up $97.50. So it looks like an extra $7.50 for the acrylic print option on the cover, but I tend to like the natural linen looks in photo books when I buy them. So that's what I went with. And then here you actually choose. They have the leather, wood look, cork. Here you could do glossy or matte. I went with the matte. Gift box, they have different options for gift boxes, but it does add quite a bit of cost to it. And with good reason, they're handmade apparently. I'm pretty sure they're really well done and it looks nice, especially if you're going to do like a wedding album or an album for your parents or something. So if you add that, it looks like it went from $90 to $150, so an extra $60 for the gift box. For my purposes, I really wanted to see the quality of the prints, so I went with no gift box, and Professional Line all comes without the barcode. So with the $150 voucher, it lands us right at 74 pages. I ended up adding a few more pages. I was trying to cull down all my images that I wanted to print within a reasonable amount of time. I try to get it down as low as possible, but I ended up having a little bit more. So I added a few more pages. You can see the prices for the XT line here. Obviously with the thicker pages, you're not going to get as many pages for the price. So I went with the regular professional line. So let's go ahead and jump into the app. So when you download and install the app, you'll open it up and you'll get this option right here. You see all the products that they have, but we're going to go into Photobook here and you'll see the XT, the professional line, the regular, no, I'm sorry. This is the regular XT. This is the professional line XT, but I don't know where the regular Photobook line is. Also, you'll see that they have running discounts, so that's good. So let's go ahead and click on the professional line Photobook here. I don't see the 8x8. Normally you'll see all the options. I wonder if it's because during the holiday season they might have sold out for the 8x8s, maybe because it was the cheapest, the smallest size. But for the purposes of this demonstration, let's go ahead and click, let's do this one, the 12x8. And so here I clicked on the natural linen. It saves you $7.50, and here you can choose the actual option itself. And then matte photo paper is what I went with. No gift box, no barcode. And that comes out to $90 starting. And go ahead and click design. And then there's kind of three options to design your photo book. There's the empty template, which is the most manual. You design your own PDFs and then you upload it. And then the 1 minute photo book, that's kind of the most automatic, quickest way. I think you just load all your images to the software and then it just automatically, quickly lays out the photo book. And then from there you can adjust, if you want to move some photos around, if you want to shuffle it around, you can do that. I went with the auto layout. It's kind of in between the fully manual and the fully automatic. You can kind of design page by page. There's different layouts that you can do. So you can do multiple photos per page and it has these auto templates. So that's what I went with. So let's go ahead and click that. And then here they have different templates for graphics and whatnot. These all look kind of oriented toward wedding and family portraits, that kind of market it looks like. I went with the simple, so let's go ahead and click that. And earlier you saw it was $90 starting price. Let's go ahead and start with the 52. Once you're starting to design, you can add more manually. For me, I just did a simple text and I added the word, the cover, patterns. And here it's the auto layout. So if you wanted to move this, you can't move it when it's auto layout. So you go up to here and you click deactivate auto layout. And then you can kind of resize this and then move the box itself. Be careful of this red line right here. This is the bleed. This is where it gets cut off. So you want to stay clear of that. You don't want to do this, for example, or else it'll get cut off. I moved my title to down here on the bottom right because what I wanted to do was actually print a physical printout and then glue it onto this cover somewhere in the middle. The one thing I wanted to say about this was I wish there was a little bit of an option to mess with kerning or adjust the kerning. So let me make this bigger just so you can see. If you look here, you can see how the T's, there's a gap between the T's. So it looks like the word pat and turns, almost like a space in between. That's called kerning, the spacing between the letters. And so this one is very obvious. It's too big of a gap there. I don't know. For me, I can't explain exactly, but just looking at it, I can just tell that it just isn't spaced right. This is an obvious one, but there's more subtle ones. Anyway, there's no adjustment in this software for kerning adjustments. So if you really wanted to use this font, I guess the only way is kind of a manual workaround. You can go into InDesign, or what I would do is I would go into Photoshop actually, and I would adjust the spacing. And then I would export the title itself as an image and then load the image onto here. But for me, for the sake of simplicity and quickness, I just went with a different font that didn't really have those kerning issues. I think I went with this one, Roboto. Let's adjust this back down to size. And then for the spine, what you can do is go ahead and copy and paste that. And you get two you see there. And then you can rotate by going to this corner and then just rotate it. And it does snap into place, so you're not going to get some weird non-90 degree angle. Make that smaller if you'd like, say, I don't know, 30. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so that's the cover. Let's go ahead and go to the pages themselves. Navigate to where your folder is of all your images. I kind of just did this for the tutorial. I put it in the JPEG full. Here are all my images. There's no layouts yet. So let's go ahead and drag one image on here. So you can see the layouts here. And the thing is, when you have one picture, it has these layouts. But when you add more pictures to this, you'll get different options for these layouts. I don't know if I can edit this page because it's the first page, but let's go ahead to the second one. Let's go ahead and drag this picture here. You can do a full bleed. You can do one of these numbers and you can move it to that side and make it not a bleed. You can do a double page spread. But for this one, something like that would feel nice. You can obviously do one of these. And let's go ahead and drag another picture here. Something like this. Maybe these at home moments. You get these different options. And also under here you see these 4 little ones. You can kind of do different sub options within that, and this will actually print black or gray, whatever, instead of a clean white. Here's a slight gray, so just be mindful of that. If you start adding more pictures, it just automatically quickly adjusts, and then again you can kind of do these quick templates, which is nice. So that's really where this software shines. And then what you can do is go ahead and deactivate the layout if you want to, say, make this one specifically a full bleed. And obviously that, this is terrible design, I think. But you can deactivate the layout if you wanted to. And there's nice snapping. And then you can reactivate the layout if you wanted to. Another thing you can do is you can zoom in and out within the picture. Now let's say this is obviously cutting off. You can click this and kind of reposition to there. You can also click and drag and switch these pictures, and that's the nice thing about the auto layout. So let's go ahead and move this one down. Obviously I would want to see more of it. I'd pick a different layout. But yeah, it's just really nice that you can kind of quickly and seamlessly move in and out. Also, you'll notice, like, if I drag this, the image kind of dynamically stays within this window. So I'm not changing the image aspect ratio. So you're really changing this window, and then the image behind it you can kind of move around if you'd like. You can zoom it in and out. Yeah, so this software is really nice. There's a lot of other things you can do with it, but for me, I found it very intuitive, very WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. If you want to add more pages, you just click here, add. And that's what I did. Let's go ahead and I'll jump back to, I'm going to discard that. I'll jump back to the project that I did for my actual photo book. And here's the actual layout that I did. Here's all my images. And here's the page layouts. You can see, I just kind of did quick layouts. I was trying not to spend too much time on this. I was trying to do it as quickly as possible, just to kind of test how easy it is to make a photo book with this. I ended up adding a bunch more pages. Let's see. I added 110 pages from the 74, and my total cost came out to $193. And then I had the $150 voucher, so it came out to 40 something. And it shipped fairly quickly. And so let's go ahead and I'll show you the actual photo book and see how it turned out. Okay, so obviously I've already unboxed this, but I just wanted to show you the packaging that it comes in. It comes in a cardboard box, and inside the box is this nice kind of foam envelope, and here it is. I did unfortunately notice there's this slight little ding right there. Obviously you don't want to have this if it's for a client or your parents, but for my testing purposes, I'll live with it. One thing I will say, first impression, this linen, I guess I was just expecting a little bit finer weave, because normally when I get photo books, for example, like this Dan Winner's amazing book, so much good content. If you notice, the weave is a lot finer. This is kind of what I was expecting, I guess. I don't know if it's a cheaper thing or if it's just what they sourced with this thicker weave. But it is nice though. I was just kind of expecting a little bit finer weave. But yeah, it is what it is. The patterns, the text came out really nice. Here's the spine. And I think because I added some more pages, you can kind of see here, it does look like it's kind of thicker than it's supposed to be. Normally this will be as wide as this right here. Looks a little bit like it added some weight to it. But I guess that's just what happens when you add a bunch more pages than their actual template. Okay, so let's go ahead and open it up, and The first thing I noticed here was the paper itself it's not really a matte paper, it's more of a luster paper. So you can kind of see there's still a sheen to it. So it's obviously not the glossy, but when it said matte, I was expecting kind of a matte, like a dry paper, but this is more, I guess when you go get your photos developed and printed, this is kind of one of those standard luster finishes to it. The prints themselves, the color depth of the paper itself, it's pretty good. It's really nice. It's got good color representation. I like it a lot. So this book, what I did was, it's basically the first 3 years of my daughter Penny. I just kind of documented her with this camera. I bought this X100F just before she was born because I wanted a simple camera that I would be able to have with me all the time. I didn't want to carry a big camera around. I knew I would miss shots, but if I had a small camera, I knew I would be able to catch more just daily life moments. Most of this book is with this camera. I think there's this one shot where it's not the, this one. This is from an iPhone. This is a panoramic. I call them panel selfies. I've been doing a bunch of selfies using the panoramic function. So this was the day after Penny was born in the hospital still. Outside of this picture though, the rest of them are with the X100F. So yeah, this is just documenting the first 3 years of our daughter Penny. From the early days till later on, till the first birthday and so on and so forth. So I do want to say that the image quality itself on the print is very nice. The colors look very nice. When I was editing the pictures on Lightroom, this is a very good, faithful representation of the colors that I was going for. So in terms of that, I really like the print quality. Like I said, I did wish there was more of a matte option with the prints. But outside of that, in terms of the color and the prints themselves, it turned out very nice. I like it a lot. Another nice thing is these are lay flat pages. Obviously, it's not fully flat, but it does, I guess, maybe with time, it does kind of lay flat. Kind of. So I guess what they kind of talking about is it doesn't bend like right here, which is kind of nice. You can see how it stays, it's pretty sharp. The way it's oh, actually you do see a barcode. There it is. But I think what the construction of how this is made, if I had to guess, is this is one sheet of luster paper that's folded in half. It's printed out from the printer like this as one sheet, both pages, crimped in half, and then this is another page, and then these are just glued together, and then it's cut. So I think that's how this is constructed. It's obviously different from a normal book, the way those are constructed. Normal books, they have, all the pages stacked and then folded in bunches like that. So yeah, I kind of just did different layout options just to see how it would work. This one, I would probably not normally put this many images, but for this book specifically, it was just trying to capture the memories of the first 3 years of my daughter. So I just kind of laid out some of the pages, some with more pictures than I would normally. I think normally each page, if there's images on both sides of this layout, then they would complement each other. Normally that's how you do layouts. I tried to do that with some of them. Others, I just kind of was trying to fit all the images that I wanted in the book within the pages that I wanted to add without going up too much in cost. So I think at the end of the day, really happy with this book, really happy with the way it turned out. Now, in terms of what I would actually buy this for, I would buy it for albums, family albums, wedding albums, gifts to family members or friends. But for personal projects, zines and whatnot, kind of like the Dan Winner's book or some of the other photo books that I have that you might see published. For that kind of stuff, I might go more of a traditional route with a, I don't know. Actually, I have no idea what the options are out there for small run prints. I guess I can look into that. But for this, I think is really good for albums, for family and friends, for weddings, for kids, those kinds of things. I would definitely look into one of these. And it's really nice with the cover options that they have. In another video, I'll go over more of the creative side of this, the images in here. I'll talk about using this camera to shoot, maybe some of the stories behind some of the images in here. So with that, till next time, see ya.